Today is June 22nd, and the Yankees win the series against the Orioles. Day game delights, they're saying.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake. Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy, and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks. Thank you very much for joining us today. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD Producing, brought to you by Seat Geek. And the Yankees win the series. Much needed Game 3 victory. Changed the whole tenor of the show, Jake.
James Davis, everyone tuning in. For all those tuning in podcasts only, Jimmy looking nice today. Little Nate Bargatze glow-up type outfit going on. Little collared shirt. The hair looks tight. I've got a shirt from our JM merch store. Go New York, go New York, go. I'll show the back on YouTube. Okay, flexible.
Go New York, go New York, go. Yeah, this shirt, Katie likes the shirt. It was Claire's birthday party, so I'm still dressed.
Surprised it's not on the bedroom floor. I am happy the Yankees won a series. June swoon potentially over. We'll see. But they win a series, and I liked what I saw late in this game. Like even the rally that ends in the 7th. Like the Yankees were giving themselves opportunities to win this game. I know another high splitter ends up being a funky pitch for Judge and the Yankees. But Jazz comes through, and it just takes a little bit of the edge off. We get through Hope Week. Clarke Schmidt is maybe your Montefiore doing more Player of the Week, which is what I hoped for. So there's a lot of positives, Jim. And if you hear a little grizzle in my throat, we were at a Fanatics Fest for most of the weekend. Really cool. Everyone that came up and gave us love. We were on stage with Will Warren. That was fun. He's a chiller, which we didn't know that. So it was a cool weekend.
There seems like there's a little tone in your voice. You mentioned the grizzle.
Yeah.
Like you're like a lot of positives, but it sounds like maybe they got to you today. Or
no, the grizzle's from Fanatics Fest. That's what I just said.
I know. I was thinking that you were like hiding some disappointment, not well, but it's from Fanatics Fest.
From Fanatics Fest, the whole thing I explained.
I said yes. Until you explained it.
Right.
This is what I was thinking, is what I said.
Right.
The Yankees have played a ton of day games.
The day game Yanks.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 losses in day games.
Sure.
I thought maybe they were day game delighters.
People are saying it's starting to turn that way in late June, from what I've heard from early openings of the show, but we'll see.
20 wins.
Okay.
So that's a good winning percentage.
Is that a lot of day games?
That's what I'm telling you. Like, that's a lot of day games. 31 day games so far.
I guess that Detroit series did get them at least 3 more that wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Feels like a lot.
We haven't had a lot of recording day games recently. Okay.
That's what they're telling me.
All right.
There's not a lot of Saturday nighters.
Morning games?
Let's see.
1-0?
Angels had 1 day game. Boston had 1. Dodgers had 2. Whatever. Maybe a lot of those West Coast trips were day games. I think but they weren't for us.
You get at least 1 day game for the East Coasters.
And then opening weekend was all 3, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. So
those games don't even exist anymore.
I know, it's crazy. Anyway, they win. They win today, and it was a frustrating game until it wasn't. You know what? Today's game, just to get ahead. And just my moods in general. Like, I believed in them. I still really haven't hit a dark part with this team. Like, I was like, I think they're coming back and win this. It's 2-0. Like, it was a bad first inning, but Warren's hold it down. Like, the recipe's here. And when they did it in the 6th inning or 7th inning or whatever that was, the first time they stranded 2, I was like, I got mad. And then the next inning, they strand 2 again, and I was like, guys, like, you're spitting in the face of these opportunities. But then they came through, so I was rewarded a little bit.
Yeah, you would have. I think everyone would have really liked the Judge one for multiple reasons. He hasn't been as insane as he was to start the year. It feels like it's a dumb, ironic sports statement, but there was a little bit of like, hey, as Judge goes, the Yankees goes, and he was going the best ever. And in this funk, he was in a funk, which you don't want to do that, and that's not really how baseball works. But it felt like the rest of the team was feeling the ripple effect of that. But huge swing by Jazz at the end. And yeah, I don't know. It's a little weird that we're coming out of losing 3 out of 4 to the Angels, and then we barely survived the Orioles, and we're giving a baby fist pump, but that's baseball, Susan.
Needed to win today.
So we did.
So they did. That's all they did. All right. We'll do the grounds creeping. We'll recap the games, and then we will give out awards.
Some different kinds of awards, too. There's prides, there's MFers, and then kind of at the end, we kind of just make up our own.
The grounds creeping is brought to you by our All-Star Game event, Jake.
Yep, sure is.
We're having our annual All-Star Game event in Marietta, Georgia. Did I pronounce that right?
Yep.
I think so.
Do you think they say it more like Marietta?
Marietta.
This event will be taking place at Glover Park Brewery in Marietta, Georgia, with a food truck on site. I love food trucks. General admission tickets are on sale now, and admission for the event will begin at 7:30. So head to shop.johnmomedia.com and get your tickets now. Shop.johnmomedia.com. If you've never been to one of our events, this is our staple every year where we go and we get to meet a lot of the people that tune in and listen and hang out and have helped us grow. And it's a fun time. There's like a community of people that always see each other at these events and enjoys it.
Yeah.
Grounds creeping. 1, 2, here we go. Luke Weaver activated off the IL. Ryan Yarbrough placed on the 15-day IL for a low-grade oblique strain, which they say he pitched through the last 2 outings, and he could not throw his bullpen now, so he's going on the IL. Stroman made his 3rd rehab start. He made his 3rd rehab stat Wednesday in Double-A. Which is crazy to me because I didn't know he made his 1st or 2nd. Just totally off the radar for me. I haven't been including him in the grounds creeping, but I was like his 3rd.
I think we involved his first one. It was right around when Stanton started his rehab, so that kind of took the headlines. And then we all just kind of assumed it was a half goof because he hasn't been around or discussed at all.
But now with Yarby on the IL, maybe he slots into one of his upcoming starts. I don't know. Luis Heel faced live hitters, so not even a rehab start, and it was totally in the zeitgeist of Yankees Nation. Like, he did it in full uniform, which is a theme this series. Is that a theme for the series? Like, Heel, through his live, the footage, he was in full uniform, full pinstripes.
Cole,
And then Booney wore full pinstripes yesterday. Did he today? I didn't notice.
Cole in the booth last series.
Boone did today.
He did today?
2-0.
I was thinking it's just so hot.
Right.
His options are limited when it gets really hot. But yeah,
I think
Booney's
he does
been wearing
it in
those
day
uniforms.
games at least more often.
Yeah. So there you go. That is your grounds creeping.
Yeah, and it looks like Alan Winans is going to get a spot start tomorrow because that was supposed to be Yarby. So he'll get the spot start against the Reds, and then that should, in theory, line up Stroman to come back. So, yeah, we'll see how they the Winans, Sandridge, Brubaker shuffle. Hey, there's innings to be had if you're a pitcher in the Yankees org. So it's going to be interesting to see how that sorts out.
Winan's been
Dealing. Yeah. Why not?
His numbers are cool.
I mean, he was probably going to be a AAA All-Star, and then he was going to have to do the Brandon Drury, am I in or am I out?
It's true. Not that many pitches, but numbers are cool. So Winans Factory. Good. All right.
What'd you say at the end there?
Winans Factory, so good stuff.
What does it sound like they sell?
Alan Winans Factory?
Just Winans.
I would like wine.
Right. I can see
Wine and linens combined.
Yeah,
So
I'm
just a
kinda
good
there.
time.
Winans.
Yeah. Game 1, Jake?
Oh,
Kind of the only game I remember. I don't even know if I remember it.
to the what? The Yankees and ace Max Fried would try to flip Baltimore the bird as Orioles and catcher Gary Sanchez catching a Japanese pitcher wearing number 18. Flashback, get ready for 3 in the Bronx. Speaking of the Kraken, 2 RBI single for El Gary. But the Yankees, they get their first 4 on base, only get 2 runs out of it due to some Martian music between him and Jazz to tie it up. Bottom 3, oh captain, my captain. The judge puts New York on top 3-2 after 3. Fried gets fried by some tough defense in the 6th. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 7 Ks for Max. It's tied up into the 8th. Get those birds off my porch. Urias goes short side. Gunner shoots in the insurance. Swoon back on. Yanks lose 5-3 final.
Close game, and then they lost. Bad defense in the 6th
Yes.
to push it across. We had a ball to DJ's left, which he can't get to. And then where was Gary's? To third?
Yeah, so Jazz knocked it down, the reaction time, but then I think on the broadcast they called it a pond skipper.
Dude, I laughed my butt off
Yeah,
when that throw happened.
yeah. So that's tough.
I know it's tough, but you just don't see that happen. Like that thing rolled from the mound to first.
He spiked it. It was so on the ground, it was tough for Goldie to scoop. He didn't scoop it.
Yeah, no, it hit the infield before the mound.
And it was Gary running.
Uh,
Yeah, he's not a big infield single guy. So you would have liked to see Jazz just get a little more under it.
yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I think the DJ, the expected batting average was either 186 or 136 on the Cowser single to start that inning, which again is just, depending how you watch the game, you see a single through the hole and you're like, okay. And then depending how you watch the game, you're like, well, that can't happen. If Jazz is there, he doesn't lay out.
Well, I don't know. It depends. Expected batting average doesn't take positioning into effect.
Right, but that's a lefty. That's a lefty pull hitter.
Yeah.
And DJ's got no range right now.
I know. So why isn't my issue is a lot with their positioning. Was he shifted over? Not really.
I think if that's our other second base options right now, I don't think we even noticed that play.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah.
It was hit 85 miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of look into this and be like, it's not as bad as it seems. But the more I've dove into it and watched the replay, and it's kind of like bad.
I'm saying.
I know.
You know, dude, I don't normally baseball savant during the game because the feelings you're just saying I normally like to watch with. I instantly looked that one up because I was like, that did not pass the Story sniff test, which very few have. But yeah, that no. A lot of people saw a single through the hole between Paul Goldschmidt and DJ LeMahieu. That should have been, Max Fried should have been out of that inning with 8 pitches, and it should have been 6 innings, 2 earned runs.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, they give up the tying run, and now we're in anxious June swoon mode. And then, I don't know, like Weaver owed Urias a favor from an old game, so he let him porch one. I don't know.
Yeah. Ripped the Band-Aid off. Weaver gave up a home run and lost the team the game.
Easy. It's a team sport.
3-2 pitch, fastball, home run.
Saw a couple porchers come into play this series.
That was not fun. It was a bummer. And then he gave up a hit later on. You walked Gary. That was a heartthrob at bat for me.
Yeah, he just did that to take you out of it.
Well, when they were like facing each other, I was like, man, there's a lot of love right now for me. I still love Gary.
Right.
Gary got the first base. I nudged Katie. I said, look how cute he is. She was like, he is pretty cute. And I was like, yeah.
He is.
But then that Jazz play, you saw him not catch the ball on the relay home. And I'm like, oh, my God, I forgot that was something he can't do.
Yeah. Like, not great at it.
Plays at the plate, catching the ball from the fielders is just like a bugaboo of Gary's.
Yeah.
Also, when Austin Wells stole third. See, this is what happens. You watch your players, you learn all their idiosyncrasies and all that stuff, and you just forget. When Austin Wells goes to third today on the pass ball, Gary blocks it. No idea where it is after blocking it. Yeah. And I know that about Gary Sanchez. A foul ball that pops up in the air, he has no clue if it's left, right, back, forward. A ball that he blocks with his chest protector, no clue where it went after that. I used to post montages of him just looking around. It's hilarious.
Yeah. That play at third ended up being a little too close for comfort, but yeah, no, and it was I guess on the other side of the fence, because I mean this Yankees team doesn't really miss Gary too much. We actually
no, I'm not saying that.
We currently have a glutton of catcher / first baseman, Escarra Hive. I see you. Gary, man. Yeah, they posted his accomplishments like on the Yankees, and it was like, oh shit. It's like 2-time All-Stars. Like they posted like all the really good stuff, and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Fastest ever to 100 homers, 2-time All-Star.
Obsessing about Dominguez and Volpe, and it's like, okay, yeah, all right. Remember when he just used to have like an approach at the plate, and he used to hit balls in the gap, not just try to hit a homer every swing? That feels like coaching at the end of the day.
Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah, early on.
Yeah, he was like a complete hitter.
He was so awesome.
So that's a little coaching, that's a little player, but at this point, it's none of my business.
Anything else about this game you want to discuss in great detail?
The Tim Hill throw to end the 8th inning was kind of sick. It's always interesting to see sometimes submarine pitchers, they show their true colors when they have to make a play in the field and they just throw like a normal human because they haven't adjusted their arm to create a new career for themselves. Tim Hill whipping one underhand from first base to third base to get, who's that? O'Hearn. I liked that.
I kind of hated that play until the out at third, because Tim Hill he's gangly.
He's gangly.
He didn't run right away off the bat, so he got beat. Like, they should have that out. I think I don't know how to do the comparison, but same like the DJ play. I think that's out most times, especially a lefty reliever.
Yeah, the lefty does inherently fall the other way a little bit, but you saw him. He takes like a drag step.
Not lefty, but Tim Hill. Tim Hill doesn't go that way.
Yeah, I mean, you see him take a drag step at the start of this play, just not reacting. So I don't know. I just like things you don't see a lot on a baseball field, and someone throwing underarm from first base to third base to end the inning. Don't see that a lot.
Yeah, it's a really good helmet spike by
O'Hearn.
Gunner?
O'Hearn. Bang. Nice.
All right. Well, bad start to the series.
Really bad start.
But maybe it gets better in game 2.
I think it might. It might get better with a little Ollie Pop. Yankees took 2 out of 3, and 2 out of 3 Americans say they suffer from digestive issues, and 95% of Americans don't get the daily recommended amount of fiber. Ollie Pop is tackling both of these issues with a drink that tastes just like soda. Prebiotic fiber is the food source for the beneficial probiotic bacteria in your gut. And Ollie Pop has 9 grams of prebiotic fiber in every can that can help support your digestive health. Ollie Pop, delicious flavors, vintage cola, classic root beer, orange squeeze, classic grape, strawberry, vanilla, cream soda, and cherry cola. Get a free can of Ollie Pop when you buy any 2 cans of Ollie Pop in the store. We'll pay you back for the one. Okay. This works on any flavor and retailer. To check it out for yourself, go drinkolipop.com/Yanks. That's drinkolipop.com/Yanks.
Olipop.
Olipop.
Burn, Jakey, burn.
Sometimes if you consume too much bad baseball or bad anything, you just need to Schmidt it out. As Clarke took on Led Zeppelin in the O's, bottom one, Trent Grisham, the independent. Solo homer, bottom two. Yeah, I got a couple things from the store, a little mascara and some rice. They both go solo, 3-0 Yankees. Make it 6, capped off by a Peraza blooper. Volpe homer in 3-hit day. The story turned into Clarke. No. Clarke gets pulled with a no-hitter. The Brubaker bus has left the station. So did the no-hitter after Gary struck out. Yanks win a blowout. It's 9-0 final.
Gary hit a single.
He struck out the pitch before, Jim. Check swing. Check swing didn't get called.
They did. That was a favor. The umpire. Umpire's anti team no hitters.
Right.
Like me.
Right.
So that was a blessing for everyone.
I did. This is a topic everyone wants to hear us discuss a little bit because it was a popular topic at Fanatics while I was there, and I was like, I kind of once the Yankees went up 6, I started tuning out a little bit. But it was funny. Michael Kay on the broadcast as I was rewatching goes, the Yankees have never had a combined no hitter, and I was like, that's actually a really good spin zone. That's strong.
Combined no hitters like kissing your sister.
No, not as hot for me.
Jake does it.
Oh.
What?
Hey, Renee.
Dude, if they had a combined no hitter.
I don't kiss my sister for new listeners.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Old listeners, different story.
Old listeners know.
Yeah. Yeah, if we had to celebrate a combined no hitter between Clarke, Schmidt, and Brubaker,
I'm celebrating
and act like that matters.
Hard.
I've always said combined no hitters just means the lineup fucking stunk that day.
Interesting.
Almost disrespects what the starting pitcher does through 9. No, yeah, I mean I'm being like 50% facetious. I don't care, but I wouldn't celebrate a combined no hitter. It doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, no hitters themselves have become slightly less sexy. The combined no hitter, we're on the same page there, and yeah, I think. I don't know. We get caught up in the regular season, or we get caught up in each game. That's part of the beauty of it. But at the same time, people were coming up asking me, and they're like, "Dude, do you think they should have pulled Clarke?" And it's like, "Yeah, it's 103 pitches in 7 innings."
It's just funny the people that watch the game all the time, and people that dip their toe in baseball or don't know. Like when he came off the mound after the 7th, he threw 21 pitches that inning. To strike out the minimum, everyone went 3-2. It was a lot of foul balls on 2 strikes. It was clear, even if he had 1 hit, 2 hits, even if it was at 90 pitches, 88, it was that's kind of what Boone says. It was pretty clear if you watch that last inning that he was on fumes and emptying it. And a little insight from my parents who were at this game, Jake.
Oh, I saw.
And they splurged on nice seats. They said, it was hot.
Yeah.
And Clarke was hot on the mound. Said he walked off. He was like, they didn't say that, but that's what they're saying. I think that plays a factor into it. It was a hot ass day. And he's just standing there in the middle of the sun. Also 106 pitches, a lot of pitches at the end. It wasn't even a thought. I knew he wasn't going to come out for the 8th.
Yeah, 103. It's just if that was the 8th inning, I think there's a conversation because we're at the point in the season where pitchers are built up and the summer heat's there that some guys are getting pushed to the one. It was kind of bad timing for Clarke because MLB pitchers, you're starting to see 1 or 2 a week that go to 115, and then the college pitchers are apparently allowed to go to $130 now. So that's. I think if you're a baseball hardo, you might even see that pop up, and you're like, I don't know, no hitter, keep going, kid. And then it's like, no, Alan Winans is getting the start tomorrow. Let's.
Yeah, if it was the ninth inning, probably you send him back out there, and it's bad. It's just batter by bat.
Hey, cutters over the middle, pal. Like,
Yeah.
Get him quick.
That's it.
But awesome for Clarke. It's a
Yeah.
bummer the storyline becomes that and not just like Clarke dominated. And he did not allow a hit.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
No hits.
Brubaker exists.
What'd you think? Did you like him as much as I've been telling you?
To be honest, I tuned out of this game after the 7th.
Yeah.
I was like laying on the couch with the kids watching, but I didn't. I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, do not care about a combined no hitter. I forgot other people did. Like I saw some people saying, "But why you got to bring in Brubaker? Like bring in a reliever to keep the no hitter alive." And I'm like, "Whoa, that's crazy that people care about that." But it's not. I understand people care about that. But I was like, bring in a fucking position player. It's 9-0. Who cares?
Now that right, mark that one down for Boone. That's a good stir the pot Boone question. But they got no more Pablo Reyes, so who do you put in?
He's a Met now.
Yeah. Met minor leaguer, right? I don't think he's on the
Minor league deal, yeah.
Don't tell them how to use their assets.
I'd like to think I didn't. I'd like to think I really didn't.
This game also, the other storyline was Boone said after Friday that Volpe was going to get the day off Sunday because his stats against Eflin were good and his stats against Kramer were not good. So he was like, yes, I am going to give him a day, but not tomorrow. And some people were like, that's so weird to like yeah, this dude's gassed. He needs a day. Then other people were joking, watch Volpe go out there and go 3 for 3, hit a homer, and then get the day off, which is, I don't know if he got 3 hits, but he got 2 and a homer. 3 hits. Yeah. So that's what happened. Like, funny, I saw that before the game, and then it did happen. He does, his first hit is a dribbler, and then he gets the line drive homer on the, was it 2-2 pitch or something? I don't know.
Yeah, that was the other porch job. Yeah, you know, sometimes Joe's McFly brings actual wisdom, and you're like, damn, you know, you're 48 years old. Like, okay, it makes sense now. That I was like, Joe's Volpe, 3 hits. They said they're gonna bench him. Like, what do you think? And he goes, rest him a day. He's like, no, it's kind of nice being on the bench and having good thoughts in your head. And I was like, okay, Joe's. And then, ironically, Buck Showalter on the broadcast today, the Joe's McFly of managers, he was like, hey, maybe Volpe got those 3 hits because he knew he had an off day coming up. He's like, we know nothing about baseball. And I was like, damn, like these are kind of my 2 religious leaders kind of guiding us the right way with Tony V.
Yeah, it was I like Buck Showalter. I thought he was lying his butt. I thought he was lying out of his butt a couple times today.
Give me a couple Buck Showalter butt lies.
Saying that Judge shouldn't have tagged on that ball, dude. And then they kept showing the replay. I'm like, okay, if you guys really didn't think this, then why are you fucking showing the replay 7 batters later and still discussing it and kind of being like tight-lipped about it? Like, dude, of course. He's like, oh, in case it skips, in case the guy catches it on a short hop, comes up throwing. It's like, so what? You go back to third.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's not force.
I liked Buck. I think there's good baseball fodder around that play in Game 3. I
liked him on the broadcast a lot, but at that point I was like, Buck, you're lying.
Yeah, he got 2 audible laughs out of me and BBD. He was talking about the player's shoes, and he goes, yeah, you know, now back in my day it was just black and white. Now the players are allowed to wear green, red, blue, express themselves, and that was it. And then going into the 9th inning, they were just going into commercial, and he thought it was out of commercial, so it wasn't supposed to be part of the broadcast. He's clearly turning to Matty V or Jeff Nelson. He's like, you think they're going to take Goldschmidt out of the DH spot and have him play first in the 9th? And then it went right into break. And it was just like, Buck's dialed. Like, Buck is dialed in.
Dude, I kind of like the managers in the booth. Yeah. Like, Girardi brings that. Buck brings that. Just going through, like, you got to look for this now. He's, like, looking at the lineup so differently. Yeah, 9-0, so a little bit of everyone hit, so no one hit going on, but that's great. Let's see what happens the next game.
You got a little. Are you an Escarra guy?
That's what I'm like. Escarra, Volpe, everyone hit, but no one hit.
It's Escarra, Trent, Rice, like guys. A few of the fighting for playing time guys all had a day.
Yeah, the more lefties that homered, the more I was like, I don't know what's real anymore.
I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't know if I'm stomping on any Escarra awards. I don't think so. He has one of the prettiest left-handed swings the Yankees have had. Like
well, that's not the award I was going to give him.
Okay.
But maybe I have some others.
Maybe he's got another.
Maybe he's getting my pride. You don't know shit.
I don't know shit.
What'd you think about Brubaker? Just joking. Just joking.
Come on.
Nothing else. This was the Clarke's the only thing to talk about, right?
Yeah, Clarke and I'm glad all the left-handers homered.
Yeah, and Goldie did not play. And then he also does not play the next game. And I don't know if Boone was asked that. Wonder if it's a bad matchup. You know, it's righty-righty, but Rice gets the start. He hit a homer, hit a triple, and then he gets to start game 3. I wonder if that was massaging it or it's more of a true platoon than we thought or what?
Yeah, I mean, hey, maybe we can ask him. I mean, righty, and we got guys fighting for playing time. Like, especially if you're going to give Escarra a day, who, by the way, Escarra deserves days the way he's been playing. They're like, yeah, dude's got to
Also wasn't going to be the name of the award. I wasn't going to give him the Deserves Days award.
Would not have been the name of the award.
No. Okay. Well, let's talk about Game 3.
Grab a little coffee and creamer as Will Warren and the Yanks had to wake up early for the 11:35 a.m. Roku game. An early snooze by Will Warren makes it 2-0 Birds after 1, but DJ26 would cut that in half with an RBI hit single 2-1 after 2. Those two were the only Warren gave up 6.1, 2 earned runs, 6 Ks, but the Yanks are still down in the 8th until Jazz grooves one 3-0 pitch, scores 2 as pinch runner Paul Goldschmidt scores from first, and how about a little fortitude on the infield chopper to make it 4-2. Warren to Hill to Cruz to Williams. Yanks take the series 2 games out of 3.
Talked about this one a lot throughout the course of the show up until this point. But they needed to win, man. I don't want to lose a series. I would have been so sad sitting here talking to you.
Yeah, and then my whole tune on, Judge gets a high splitter, and, that turns into, Judge kind of a problem right now. Like, it's winning cures everything, and kind of a nails performance by Cruz. Jazz 3-0 is kind of horrifying, but beautiful at the same time.
Did you guys talk during that? The Jazz 3-0? Like me and my dad. My dad was over because birthday party and my brother-in-law. So I had a gang. We were chatting, and my dad we were like, has to swing, right? And I was like, 3-0. We were looking at who's hitting behind him, and it was DJ and double play in order. That's the things that were said. It was like, who's 3-0 has to swing. Who's behind him? DJ. Oh, double play would be in order. Oh, and we all land on yes, has to swing here. And then he did and got one. So we were excited.
Yeah, I think it went from Stanton singles, so they pinch run Goldie. So you're kind of wondering, like, hey, does Paul have the green light? How's this going to go down? And then when it's 3-0, I think we were listening to the stylings of Buck, that Buck was like, green light on in a big way here. And that's exactly how the 3-0 green light is supposed to work. Like, hunt the fastball. If you get one in a good location for you, give it your A swing. And that's exactly what Jazz did. Paulie G rounding the bases. If the relay throws a little more on the third base side, we might be having a different conversation, but we're not.
37 years old, plus base runner.
Yeah.
And we've talked about like the platoon of it before, and you and I have landed on with him and Rice. Landed on, I don't know, can you really have it be a true platoon? Right. Because Goldie offers so much on defense and just kind of a baseball IQ guy. This game is like he offers a ton off the bench. Like if you want to give Rice the first 2 at-bats against the righty starting pitcher, Goldie has come into games 3 or 4 times in the last month and provided. Like pinch hit hits, pinch hit. You got robbed that one time by Neto, but it would have been another pinch hit. But Neto jumped up and snagged it. Really nice play. Defense he provides. He provided base running for Stanton. Crazy, but I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe it is going to be just more of a platoon, but Goldie will get in there.
Yeah, I think we have a few lefties coming up this week. So I think that makes Boone's life a lot easier. But yeah, man, I mean. They were talking about it on the broadcast. There was a quote that they were talking about getting old, and they're like, when you finally get old enough to have it figured out mentally, your body starts giving out. Like what Paul Goldschmidt's doing against lefty pitchers looks like, the most in control I've ever seen a hitter in any isolated situation.
Looks easy.
Yeah, like it looks comically easy. I wonder how bought in he is on that. But, yeah, with Lodolo and J.P. Sears in 2 of the next 4 games, that makes things easier.
Were there any other big decisions? I again don't like the up-down situation. Cruz has to come in and clean up Tim Hill's mess, who walked 2 and then got pulled. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that one's not a banner one for you. It's tough because, Tim Hill traditionally does throw strikes, and it's 2 guys with horrible versus left splits, but it's a great example for the Bible that you're going to build for Boone for the end of this season.
It just doesn't seem necessary, but Cruz locked in.
Necessary?
Necessary? Is it necessary for me to remember?
Some people get it. Some don't anymore.
No. We're sterile. I like the taste. Yeah, you got to watch this show on Netflix. You don't have to, but you could. About searching for like gold and greed, searching for Finn's treasure. I think we talked about this on old John Boy Dick Radio. This old man hid $2 to $5 million worth of treasure and wrote a poem and sent people it's like real. They found it. Netflix made a documentary, and there's this one family. They're like, I didn't graduate from high school, but I'm street smart, And they go on to just, man, it's crazy. They shouldn't have let the interview see the light of day. They think it's the state park, like in their backyard. So they, every time they figure out like a clue of the poem, it leads them to the state park in their backyard. So he's got to be. It's like the biggest example of confirmation bias you could ever possibly have.
Okay.
They spent 2 years trying to blow up a boulder because they thought it was entombed under a boulder. An 80-year-old man hid the treasure.
That's awesome.
By himself.
Right.
And the 80-year-old man told everyone, I did this by myself. Like, I have to be able to do it.
Right.
And they thought he entombed it in a boulder. They raised funds to blow up the boulder and evacuate the boulder, and it wasn't there. 2 years they spent. It's crazy.
Yeah, again, I haven't seen it yet. I don't want to take away too much energy from blowing up a boulder because, I like the start. Like, I like the concept. I don't know how long it has to take you. But, yeah, your evidence provided makes me think that it wasn't there, and I think that's how it turned out.
Wow.
I watched a little bit of the Alexander Cooper doc this weekend. Interesting on a few different levels. And then the only other thing I'd say, circling back on the dodgeball reference that started this whole conversation, there was a funny clip of Owen Wilson getting interviewed, and he was like, there's a lot of people that know him from the movie Cars as Lightning McQueen, and he's like, it's like a half sad interview because it's old. That he's like, there's now late 20-year-old people that come up to him and are like, ka-chow! And he's like, that's crazy. That's crazy. There's a lot of adults that like him for being an animated car.
Yeah, like adults being a fan of the kids movie. That is bizarre.
Yeah.
I get it. His new show is good. Third episode worried me. Fourth saved it.
Okay.
In juxtaposition, there's another guy that's like a smart nerd guy, and he trained a dog to sniff for bronze up to 4 feet below the dirt. And he trained a AI program to do facial recognition of every single interview to tell like when he twitches and shit, which led him to Yosemite. And then they showed these 3 brothers like on this boulder
Right.
because of nothing.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Good game. Cruz found that splitter inside to lefties and just hammered it. Like, I think the prettiest his splitters looked because he was on the corners low. And sometimes he floated it. Other times he didn't. He missed one call on him, and I said, oh, shit, now he's going to throw it down the middle. He did. Cedric Mullins, or no, it wasn't Mullins. I forget who it was. Missed it, but it was scary.
Yeah, it felt like his splitter. I was gonna give him an award, but it feels like we're too deep on it. It felt like his splitter had a little more left to right today. And yeah, he backdoored that one on Laureano. That should have been strike 3, and then he got him on the next one. But the split was beautiful today.
He had one that went right to left. And remember last episode I mentioned yeah, most were left to right. There was one that was right to left that I remember. Because he pitched when Ben Rice caught him. His splitter was moving right to left, and I mentioned that. I'm like, it usually doesn't go that drastically that way. The broadcast today, first time I've heard this insight, said he grips it 2 different ways to try and maneuver it 2 different ways. And I hadn't heard that anywhere else yet, but that's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting looking at it savant. It looks like on the year he's only had 2 splitters that actually moved right to left. But he definitely has a range that he is controlling it in, because some significantly move the other way, some are pretty straight on.
I wonder if when did Ben Rice catch him? Who were they playing against?
Who is Ben Rice? What was that, last series? Was that the Panic series?
Was that the Angels?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
It was.
The one in my head that Ben Rice gave up the pass ball on. Maybe it wasn't a splitter. Maybe it was like a slider.
Slide Jones?
What was it?
Like a slide banger?
Maybe. That one was down. Watching him. Where's this pass ball, you punks?
Come on,
punks. I see it. He just spiked it. Like, it didn't even split yet. You can see when I slow-mo. So he just spiked it right, left before it hit the ground. But yeah. I didn't know he was manipulating his splitter. That's cool.
Who were you just saying, come on, you punks to?
I don't recall saying that. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Court of law, I'd say that.
It'd be a tough moment for you. I believe you. My facial recognition program believes that.
Yeah. I was going to say something sad.
Oh.
JV and Sandridge optioned.
Oh, I left him off the grounds creeping again for some odd reason.
How could that happen?
Junior sandwich sent back down.
Come on. He's got some nice AAA numbers.
6'5".
Yeah. Wow. All right, let's do some awards.
Well, it starts with Pride of the Yankees, and Pride of the Yankees is brought to you by DraftKings. Use code YANKS when you sign up with the DraftKings Sportsbook.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
Pride of the Yankees. It's a pride of the Yankees, pride of the Yankees. Now, a lot of people might be wondering, Jimmy, I trust you and I love you and I always think you do good by me. It has to be Clarke Schmidt that you give it to. I gave it to him last week, so I don't double up. I'm going Jazz. Jazz Chisholm. 2 doubles today. A lot of hits on the series. 5 hits on the series. His numbers since returning. Do you have that screenshot still?
I do. Jazz Chisholm, since returning, 21 for 60, which that's code for a 350 batting average, 7 extra base hits, and 987 OPS since turning into 70% Jazz.
What about a shirt that, like, on the back it says like 70% is, and then you do the 100 emoji? Like 70% 70 is 100.
Right.
And then it's a Jazz shirt. 70% Jazz.
Is there a way to make his name say like 70? Like, can you make the Z turn into a 7 or something?
Like the Jeter shirt?
What?
I lose some of the youths
Right.
that thought that was cool.
Right.
The respect with the number 2 and all that.
Yeah.
You want to re-2 Peck's Jazz playing at 70%?
That's like Owen Wilson in Cars, when, like, you know, some of the younger kids are like, no, I like that. I'm like, oh,
Right.
you must have been a baby. You were born into that.
Yeah.
At no time was that cool.
All of us were.
Jazz with 70. I don't think it's possible.
Like Z's and 7s kind of work out.
Does a J go into a 7? Like a capital J? The 7 go into a capital J? Can you highlight part of the capital J?
I don't know. I've seen you change any letter you want into another letter. That's why I brought it up.
Dude, that's one of my skills. Thank you for bringing that up.
I know. It's kind of why I threw it out there, and then I didn't want Jeets to get dunked on like that.
I didn't dump on Jeter at all.
Right.
I can bet you Jeter did not think respect was the number 2 and respect.
Right.
Come on, with the number 2 and that it was cool. Respect.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. Jazz is my pride.
Okay.
You know what? We were joking at him in the Boston series because you could tell he wasn't actually going 70%. I thought his swings in this series actually looked like a guy not trying to do too much of the ditch. His first hit today that he thought was gone, the double, I think it was like 85 exit velo. Like, it wasn't like he swung out of his shoes.
Yeah, I don't know how quickly we can get today's game winner up, but for a 3-0 swing, like we've seen Jazz's swings when he is out of control and like the helmet comes off a little bit, or he corkscrews himself. Like, his swing today on the 3-0 pitch was like a batting. It was like a final swing of batting practice. Like, hey,
105 exit velo.
Last swing of the day. I'm gonna groove you one. You know, put a good swing on it. Like, it's so under control, and that's the whole point of this.
23 degrees of launch.
Which, like, when we initially talked about this, we reference how, like, that's kind of how baseball is played. There's, Jazz is still running the bases at 100%. He's not running the bases at 70%. But, there's some hitters, a lot of hitters take very under controlled. They're not taking 100% swings. Like I guess 100% guy that jumps into my head is like Jose Canseco used to take the most violent and ugliest swings every time, but that's playing a different sport that Jazz should not be playing.
Chris Carter.
That's a whole nother deal.
Way to go, Jazz.
Way to go, Jazz. I thought he was
Also,
the 1-1.
2 collisions with the catchers.
Yeah.
He got Gary into the game, so that was nice of him.
Took out your guy. Who was that? Maverick Hand stuff?
They were saying his name a lot, and I was like, what is his name?
Maverick
What's his
Handley. Maverick Handley.
Maverick's his first name?
Yeah.
Where's he from?
Denver.
He is?
Yeah.
I was going to say California or Denver.
Yeah.
But Colorado's more got that air jonesing for airports.
Yeah, I mean, the Air Force Academy's around there. Maybe there's some connection there that's cool. He went to Stanford.
There's a connection.
Like, his family's like involved in the Air Force or something.
Yeah, I know. I would say there's a connection. For
Okay.
sure. I just don't know if it's cool.
Right. 5'9", 210. Can work with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Suddenly I'm a fan.
Right. Oh, you want to not be a fan again?
Okay.
Maverick Dane Hanley. Dane with a Y.
Dayne.
Yeah.
The name's tough. What do his friends call him? Mav?
Probably Mav. That's kind of nice.
You can't just go around and say, hey, Maverick.
And we hope he's okay.
Yeah, that was wild. I think he's okay because it was just his arm, but it was wild. He got flung.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where I should have posted if I wasn't at the birthday party. I've posted this before when someone diced this up for me in Mighty Ducks when the Bash Brothers like, yeah, you spun that dude. That'd be perfect for that. Jazz spun that dude.
Jazz spun that dude.
Who's your pride?
Did we talk about Brubaker enough? Yeah, I will go Clarke. I mean, there's a sneaky Will Warren discussion, as we also became friends with him at Fanatics Fest this weekend. Awesome
Yeah, I had his
guy.
personality way off. I was wrong.
We kind of assumed, we were assuming closer to Jordan Montgomery, and he's closer to Mike King. Like he's a dude.
Yeah, or like Max Fried, the first time we interviewed Max Fried.
Yeah.
When he was just so much more reserved because he's like younger
Right.
and not a goof. Like Warren came in and said hi to us, and he was kind of just a big goof smile, like in a good way.
He was chilling. Will Warren has fans. What? That being said, I'm going Clarke Schmidt. 'Cause 7 hits, 7 innings of no hit ball is pretty good. To help us try to get out of the June swoon. But it's kind of, I guess, pride of the Yankees is the name of this award, Jim. And I said it before the week. Clarke Schmidt getting 2 starts. I want him to be the Montefiore doing more player of the week. And I think he locked it up, personally. And again, we've had a lot of Clarke Schmidt discussions about length, and we were kind of pushing him in the the Padres trade over Mike King because Mike King probably has a higher level of nasty, and although Mike King's hurt right now. Clarke Schmidt, ERA on the year is down to 2.84. Clarke Schmidt, ERA on the year last year, 2.85.
Yeah. I mean, the innings are also just so awesome. Like he's pitching so many more innings than he was last year, I feel like even.
Yeah, I mean, these last 2 really helped it out. But, yeah, he's been his last 28 starts, 155 innings, a 2.85 ERA.
It's awesome. His pitches to me are odd. He threw a lot of cutters in this game, but because they kept working, and it was like a brain glitch for me. He threw like 2 high cutters in the same inning at one point. I forget who. Well, I was just like, what? How are they missing that? Why are they missing that?
I think it plays really well off his breaking stuff. I mean, if you look at the savant numbers on his breaking balls this year, the slider, 071 batting average against, the sweeper, 105 batting average against, the knuckle curve, 125 batting average against, that I think all of those end up playing off the cutter, that you end up waiting for the breaking ball, and that cutter, it almost ends up having rise on it if you're the hitter because you expect everything else to go down.
It's definitely a fun like pitch mix because on its own, it doesn't even really cut that much. It almost just looks like a spinner, almost like a changeup off other things. But yeah, this is like I said it last week when I gave him pride, but he's taken the steps that I've been so excited and so like wanting him to take for a long time now.
Yeah, and it's again, it's not how this works, but again, we had a lot of Mike King, Clarke Schmidt conversations a couple years ago, and now, I mean, Clarke has really elevated himself.
And you like that.
I like that.
Okay. Now it gets, a little dirtier, Jay.
You Yankee motherfucker.
You know,
Okay.
I was looking around
Yeah.
trying to figure out who I want to give MFer to.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's tough because a lot of them got hits
Yeah.
because they won 9-0 in the other game. But even in the first game, a lot of the offense got hits. They couldn't push across runs, but they got hits. The only offensive guys, like no one played all 3 games and stunk. Not a lot of guys played all 3 games at all, to be honest. Belly got a day. Goldie got 2 days. Stan got a day. Rice got a day. Wells got a day. DJ got a day. Damn, how many people played all 3?
It looks.
know.
I mean, that like played all 3: Trent, Judge, and Jazz.
That's all, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And all the starting pitchers, you know, you're not finding anything there. And the relief, I'm going to Weaver. He lost game 1.
Oh, okay.
I searched my darndest. First outing coming back from the IL, which he speed ran out of.
Right.
So am I concerned that Urias got him on a 3-2 fastball short porcher? No. My concern level didn't change at all. But is he the MFer for losing the one loss this season, the series? Yes. And let's move on to yours.
Yeah, I mean, Jim, if you really want to fan fiction it a little bit, I think this was, okay, we're in the June swoon. The Yankees want to keep Devin in the closer role and have Weave be flexible. That I think that helped make it less of a conversation for the Yankees. So I think Weaver got his buddy Urias one.
I like that too.
Yeah, just friend stuff. Because I wonder if Boone gets asked after the game. Because in theory, Weaver and Williams were available for today's 2-run save opportunity, and they went Williams. So I think they're just going to let it ride.
Yeah. They said matchup, so they still can lean on that. But I don't even.
Yeah, something to follow.
I don't know if the matchups make sense there.
Aaron Aflalo? Okay. It's a good pick, Jim.
Thank you.
Thank you. There's no need for Peraza. I'll do Belly. I mean, statistically, his offensive numbers are the worst. He went 1 for 9, where you mentioned everyone. I mean, pretty much everyone else did hit or contribute something. Belly doesn't have that. So
Belly doesn't have that.
I make a point of it when Belly's in the mix. He wasn't in the mix this weekend.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
He did. Not that I'm disagreeing with you. He does deserve it. He's the other option. But also a positive that I would say from his series is he had I don't know how long that at bat was today. But he fouled off maybe 8 pitches, maybe 10 pitch at bat. And then he has a productive out. And whenever you have a rally afterwards, you do kind of have to you let the next guy see a lot of pitches. Stan comes up after that, hits a single right away. I think that was Belly to Stanton, yeah. So it was a good at-bat in a rally. Saw a lot of pitches, spoiled pitches. He didn't really do anything besides a productive out, but...
Yeah, knocked the first baseman over.
Yeah.
He made a... I'm not actually judging because I think it's the right move. He made a half business decision on a foul pop down the line in today's game. That I think.
Yeah,
I think if it's a World Series, I think if it's a playoff baseball game, I think you see Belly get in the dirt on it. But he made a Sunday day game Orioles decision, and I'm okay with that.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be fine with it too then.
Okay.
Good. Here, I worked on this for you. What do you think?
Okay. Jazz, 70%. There's something there.
You give that to an actual graphic designer, maybe
Yeah.
they turn it into something.
No, like I think Jazz would tastefully say that's fire, bro, but like the actual design,
This isn't fire, bro.
you're right.
But it could
he'd
get
tastefully say that because he's a nice guy. But
Yeah.
the actual design, yes.
You got to jazz it up a little more. But that's the only way I figure out how to fit 70 into jazz.
I like it. I think it works.
Okay.
What if he changes his number to 70?
1 point me.
What was your Veet wearing?
Your beat?
Yeah.
think he had 90 going.
90. Okay, so 70 might be available. I'll tell you what else is available. American Crew. Today's episode of Talkin' Yanks is brought to you by American Crew. Summer's here, and the hats are coming off. Literally, take your hats off. I went hatless today. Have you heard
too.
of hat fishing? It's when someone looks different once the hat comes off. Not always for the better. If you wear a hat all the time or in every photo, you might be unintentionally giving people the ick. Summer's here, people. So maybe it's time to ditch the lid. Maybe go get a pair of Shady Rays and just get some American Crew for your hair. American Crew styling pucks, fiber, forming cream, pomade. You got it. Whatever your hair needs, American Crew has it. So go ahead of the game this summer. Pick up your American Crew styling essentials on Amazon. Style with a pro, American Crew. And I don't need to be coy about this for any reason, but there was someone who came to our office who they're a famous person, and their husband uses American Crew, and we gave them 6 when they were here, and they were very happy.
That's all true what Jake said, besides one, but it doesn't change the story.
Okay.
Wait, what's this from? He wore it in the Futures game, DVD? It's a picture
In
of
his
Jazz
MLB
Chisholm wearing number 70.
debut, before they let him prove it and pick
Wow.
a number, he wore 70 those first 20 games he played in 2021, I believe. Or was that 2020? Either way. Then the next year he got to pick a number, and then he chose 2. But I thought I remember him
my
debuting
goodness.
in a number like that.
That's a good picture.
That trick finally came in handy.
That's good. Yeah, that's you can change any letter to another letter when writing on a piece of paper. BBD remembers a lot of player numbers.
Yeah, I was going to I have it prepped. I hope you didn't cheat, BBD. Since 2018, so since we've been doing this show, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Yankees have worn number 70. 20 seconds on the clock for you to name as many as you can.
I think Lions got it.
Yes.
Wow,
That's enough.
that's enough.
Duke Ellis.
Duke Ellis, yes. 2.
Wow.
I think that's probably the first and last one. 70.
No, Lions was the first.
Duke Ellis was the last.
Okay, one of them was in The Wizard of Oz. One of them doesn't exist.
Good lion. I'm out on doing more 70s.
Okay, well, Tyler the Cowardly Lion had it, and Brainless Breivik Valera had it.
Brainless Breivik.
The Ghost of Stephen Ridings wore number 70.
Whoa.
Chichi Gonzalez. Luis Avalon.
Nope.
Jimmy Cordero.
Ooh,
Duke Ellis.
nice.
George Contos was the first to wear it in 2011.
First time around.
Okay. Regular old awards.
Yeah, where are you going with your first one?
So I've got one, and this name, I don't want people to get offended in any way, but it is the, who do I give it to? I have a very fleshed out topic I want to talk about. I didn't think about who would receive it.
I
Yeah, it
had
would be
two. I had 2 awards prepared. Well, one of them was Sharky. So I just need you to not take one guy. Oh, and I forgot to note, Clarke has a 25 inning scoreless streak, so that's pretty impressive. Yeah.
Kill the Cowards award.
Kill the cowards, huh?
Yeah.
kill the cowards, and it's going to one person because you just alluded a second ago that you said you didn't know who to give it to.
Yeah, it'll go to one person. You would.
Oh, no.
If you had to reframe it so it makes sense, it would be the "Don't worry, we'll kill those cowards" award.
Okay. Ben Rice.
No, but I like that I like that you want to talk about Rice.
Yeah.
Quags sent us some of the stats that they use at Yes
I was
Network.
going to shout out Quags.
And Aaron Judge gets the award.
Okay, that's good.
But it really goes to everyone else behind him because it's about his intentional walks.
Right.
He got his 17th intentional walk of the season, nearly double the next closest total, which is Ohtani at 9. 37 intentional walks since last season are way ahead of number 2 since last season, which is Devers. Yankees single-season intentional walk leaders. Judge has 17 already. Mickey Mantle is the leader with 23. So it looks like he's going to break the single-season intentional walk record for the Yankees. That's cool. Now here's where the "Don't worry, we'll kill those cowards" award comes into play. Walking Judge, cowardly. Smart, sure, but you're scared of him, and that's a cowardly act, you know? In the 17 trips to the plate immediately following a Judge intentional walk, the Yankees have a .357 batting average, a .437 on base percentage, a .642 slugging percentage. They are 5 for 14 with a double, a homer, a sac fly, and 2 walks. Have driven in 6 runs. So, good news. It fires up the fellas. Jazz is 2 for 4 with a homer. Rice, 1 for 2 with a double. Belly, 2 for 8 with 2 doubles. It's fun stats.
It's good. It would be a really large discussion if the numbers were the opposite of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and that's again like all those hitters you mentioned, we like.
It's good. And his numbers on this series, like 400 batting average, 571 on base, like first time in a little bit we've looked at that and been like, oh, yeah. Okay.
4 walks. He got the respect treatment. That's more than double anyone on the team. And then, he had that little inside out on Kremer, which that was as impressive as an unimpressive Judge hit gets.
His numbers against the Orioles are crazy this year.
Yeah. And like always.
Yeah, that was also in the notes. Since 2017, and this is before Saturday and Sunday, Judge has which is only going to move some of these up, 335 batting average, 470 on base, 772 slug. Since 2017.
Yeah.
Most home runs versus any opponent since 2017. Number 1, Judge versus the Orioles. Number 2, Judge versus the Blue Jays. Number 3, J-Ram versus
The Yankees.
the Tigers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mike Trout versus Seattle, which, like, you hear that all the time. I would have thought it was higher.
Right.
Wow. And then number 5 is Aaron Judge versus the Red Sox. So he's all over this.
That's good.
JD Martinez versus the Orioles is number 6, which I wouldn't have guessed.
Didn't have that.
Yeah. So, yeah. He doesn't always have the same person behind him. It's been Belly a lot, but they've come through.
Yeah.
Screw those cowards award.
Okay.
Good award.
Goes to Judge, but it's about everyone else. Okay. I'll think about it.
Well, it's a message to Judge.
I'm thinking about it.
Don't worry. We got
That's
your
all I
back.
can give you.
I almost gave it the Never Fear Brooklyn's here, which is from Newsies, but I knew you wouldn't get that.
Yeah, Newsies and Mighty Ducks. I'd start to worry about, our audience. We're starting to end up on the other side of the fence.
No, Mighty Ducks, people know.
Okay. Are you done?
Yep.
Okay. The Be More Like Rizzo Award.
Be More Like Rizzo Award.
More Like Rizzo Award.
Do you want someone to get hit by pitch more?
Are you fishing for clues?
Yeah.
Okay.
Be more like Rizzo. How could this happen? Like, Rizzo didn't leave a great taste in her mouth at the end. Be more like Rizzo. No idea. DJ.
Jim, you were all over it. You just had to trust it a little more. The Be More Like Rizzo Award goes to Trent Grisham. Back-to-back series during a rally. Trent Grisham, the king of cool, has a signature catch in the outfield. They talk about it on the broadcast. Back-to-back series. The Yanks in the June swoon, begging for a rally, begging to give Judge an opportunity, has jumped out of the way of hit by pitches. That part of the responsibility of hitting in front of Aaron Judge is I need you to prioritize getting on base. And I believe it was in the 7th inning today during his at-bat. He ends up walking, which is fine. But it's just noted. I think I forget if it was Kyle or someone else in our Yankees last chat, but as this is twice in the past week that it was like, Trent, we need you, pal. And the king of cool, it's the most emotion he shows on the field. It's his quickest twitch to get out of the way of the pitch, which I understand. But I don't know. I'd like if he was a little more like Rizzo. Wear a couple of those. Because that's even more backbreaking for the other team.
It is a tough ask because he's having a great season. He's on pace for like 35 homers.
Yeah.
And if something hits him poorly,
Nah.
he could break the sheath on his wrist.
That's where he's got to be more like Rizzo.
Right. Rizzo's crazy.
Crazy.
Like, insane. But I hear you. He did have a good series, though.
Yeah.
So that's good.
It was a Trent series.
Can be happy with that. What's the outfield?
I mean, Trent is our leadoff center fielder. So it starts there.
And Belly should be getting everyday run.
Well,
That is a tough platoon that Boone has to navigate.
yeah.
Okay, I have my next award.
It's good.
It's the JC Jesus Christ Award.
I've got one guess.
Who?
Because you were alluding to a potential award for a player earlier. And
Oh, shit.
I'm going to guess JC Escarra because with that reaction, I'd rather have you wear it the rest of this award.
It is JC Escarra.
Okay. That makes
Wow.
sense. That makes sense.
You were all over
I was
it.
paying attention.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, this guy's been, like, very good. If you look at Escarra's numbers, I know it's limited. Will it extrapolate? Will it stay? On both sides of the ball, though, Jake. It's a little interesting.
It's a little interesting.
Like, okay, defensively, he's 7th in the majors in framing, despite limited playing time. And this is from Quags as well. Shout out to Quags. Yes, research. And he's been positive in blocking as well, +1 blocks above average, which he's not good at throwing out runners. But those two things he grades out incredibly well. He gets a homer and a hit in this series and like an RBI on a hard hit ball. He had a really good day at the plate. And if you look at his games in which he starts, so I'm not doing any butter knife of like time
Right.
the whole season. Because coming into a game, he comes into a game, his priorities are getting the pitcher through that game and playing defense. Like, he probably not even really focusing on the bat that much. And coming into game and pinch hitting is hard. So in games that he's starting and getting his 4 plate appearances, 263 batting average, 368 on base, 456 slug. It's an 824 OPS. It's 68 plate appearances. So we're not talking about the largest size, but that's what he's been given. Those are pretty good numbers. They're not that much like just versus righties versus just versus lefties. He's hit both sides. In his last 52 plate appearances, he has an 865 slug and a 295 batting average. So he's been, I don't know what you do with this. That's like my question. Like, I don't know how actionable this is. Austin Wells steps up in game 3, finally swings at the first pitch fastball that everyone else was taking for strikes and was making me groan. And Wells got another hit in another game. Wells has been good. It's not a complaint about Wells. It's just like, whoa. Escarra's been a really good player.
I think, yeah, the only thing that he currently has against him is he hasn't thrown out a base runner. I think he's 0 for 15, which, again, a lot of that is
0 for 17.
Yeah, a lot of that's on a pitcher normally, but the framing there, which we know how much the Yankees value that. The at-bats look good. Again, this shouldn't really matter, but the swing is genuinely pretty. Like, I don't know, seeing his batting stance in the 25 hit one into that second deck, it looked Teixeira-ish, who had a pretty lefty swing himself. Obviously not comparing him to that, just the prettiness of a lefty swing, especially at Yankee Stadium, which we spent dark times dreaming about these days. I think the interesting conversation revolves around when the trade deadline really does roll around this year, and the Yankees have another great opportunity in the American League this year. Like, them, the Tigers, and Houston, none of them are powerhouses in any way. That, whoever's the healthiest, whoever has the best deadline, whoever's the hottest coming into the playoffs, they've got a really good chance at it. And the Yankees went to the World Series last year, as people remember. That it's going to get really interesting if there's a Ben Rice deal on the table, or I don't even know what else. But Escarra's, it's just tricky. He's 30 years old. It's a small sample size. They love him. He's a former Uber driver. His value, I don't think, would really be anything, and unless maybe it was. But yeah, if the Yankees think Escarra could be an actual asset for the team for the next 3 years as a backup catcher, first baseman, player, that could change how they navigate the deadline potentially. So, it's interesting.
It is. And it's just like, oh, wow.
Like, it's all, I guess this is bad fan stuff, but like, well, I think, okay, maybe this is my way to phrase it. If Escarra, who's about to go on paternity leave, we were told last week, and I see him out there. It would be one of those things that's interesting if Austin Wells went on like a week-long paternity week. I think we'd all be watching Escarra for a week, just like a little closer, and just be like, what is this really?
Yeah, I almost want to see him get in the mix a little more, but it's already such a juggle. Like, they're using Ben Rice as backup days because that's how they got to get him in. So I don't know if there's a lane, but it's interesting. So that's my award. And you have one more to give out. It's the last and final award of the show.
It's the last and final and most prestigious award of the show. And it's brought to you by Harry's. Hello, Harry. In pro sports, even a little edge can be a winning advantage. And in shaving, Harry's gives you the sharpest edge with their razors. Harry's is your everyday MVP. Not only do you get a great shave, but their products come in clean packaging and look great on your bathroom counter. That's actually kind of important. And right now, you can get the 5-blade razor. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. It's 5. Weighted handle, foaming shave gel, and a travel cover for just $5. 5 blades, $5. Harrys.com/Yanks. Not only do they have razors, they have a ton of other personal care stuff, deodorant, lotion, body wash, whatever you need. And if you don't think you need that stuff, you need it. A lot of young men that listen to this show, you need it. Get the edge on your shave with Harry's. Normally, $10, but right now you get it for $5 at harrys.com/Yanks. That's our exclusive link at harrys.com/Yanks. $5 trial set. Jim,
Yes?
it's happening again.
You have one more award.
Know what I missed? I missed the Zoom thumbs up bubble era of Talking Yanks. I think people will talk about that. I don't know if you still have that power. I like watching you do it. Just trying to will it. Little baby James in you there.
Come on.
Artist formerly known as Baby James. My last and final and most prestigious award. God, I've got a few guys I want to talk about still. That's wild. No, that doesn't deserve an award. We talked Paul. Let's give out the good bounce back award.
The
That's
Good
nice.
Bounce Back Award.
Good bounce back award.
Ben Rice?
It's going to Giancarlo Stanton. Jimmy, you mentioned the sack fly, non-sack fly play with Judge on third. Belly hits a fly ball to right. Right fielder had just made a really bad throw. Carlson doesn't have an amazing arm, kind of an average arm, that they don't send him. You know, there's a good argument to send him. There's also some baseball logic of there's one out. You've got Stanton coming up second and third. Like if Judge were to get thrown out at home and then it's Stanton up with 2 outs, runner on second, we would act differently. So sending Judge was probably the call. Ends up working out. Part of the reason they didn't was Stanton's coming up, and it's the third time through. And Dean Kramer, the third time through, is not good. Stanton had one of his worst at-bats of the season. He took 2 fastballs right off the edge, or right on the edge, and then he swung through strike 3 that it was like, well, that's the other side of it, that when that happens, you might not get a chance at the sac fly, and they do not. Jazz flies out on that. So that Stanton at-bat was pretty brutal. He comes back. He has a single in his next at-bat against Baker that ends up being a big part of the rally. So glad Stanton bounced back. It was one of those just tough Stanton at-bats that you're like, oh, yeah, he is playing a completely different sport sometimes.
Yeah.
That was tough. But he bounced back.
Yeah. Beebs, I don't know if you have those pitches or can pull them up, but the first one he takes, it's his third time through. I think my guess is he's sitting off speed, thinking this guy's going to try and throw me, pitches I haven't seen that much. First one, maybe he thought it wasn't in the zone because it's on the edge, but the way his body reacted, it seemed like he wasn't looking heater anyway.
Yeah.
Then with a strike on him, the next one is just a fastball like low, but just in there. And he doesn't even react at all. So he definitely was just, I think, sitting a breaking ball. And then now it's 2 strikes. And he sees one up. They've been 2 low. And then the next one's high, and he just swings at it. It's like exactly what you said. Oh, yeah. Sometimes his at-bats are different than other people's at-bats.
Yes.
Finally came with a fastball, and he smoked it.
Boom.
Oh, Gunnar Henderson mic'd up.
Yeah, electric.
No.
Oh.
The most electric part was when he stood close to Holiday and LeMahieu didn't talk, and we got to listen into that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he was like real boring.
DJ. Did DJ
Playing
play?
a sport, so you don't have to be crazy exciting.
Did DJ ever play with Holiday? I mean, definitely played against him, right?
Colorado, they had, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, he's just taking that right there. That second pitch.
Yeah, so I was looking at Matt Holliday's stats if I could see the earlier pitches because it's also it's listed as four seam, which okay, if you're looking for something else, taking that for a strike, and then it lists the second one as a sinker. That is it prettier. So I kind of see what happened there. Like he threw him a four seamer, and Stan wasn't looking for that pitch the first one. That the sinker actually ended up playing off that fastball a little better. But
it's not even in
still.
his legs, though. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it just looked like auto takes.
Yeah.
Looks like when Matt Holliday goes back to the Rockies in 18, that would have been DJ's also last year there, right?
Okay. Talking.
Well, they both played with Judge, so.
Right. Which that's what matters.
Yeah.
I have my one Quags thing I want to get out.
Okay.
Like you mentioned, Quag started sending us the one sheet again. Thank you. Jeff Quagliata, the Yes Network. I had a good chuckle because it has so much info on there. It's Jimmy's dream. And it opens up with this date in NYY/MLB history. So I was like, okay. 2005, Yankees, 11-7 game against the Devil Rays heading into the 8th. They score 13 runs, including back-to-back homers. And I want you to remember these three names. Back-to-back-to-back homers by Gary Sheffield. Borderline probably should be Hall of Famer. Alex Rodriguez, one of the best players to ever play this game. Hideki Matsui, in a roundabout way, one of the best players to ever play this game. Snaps. And I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I like that. 2023. The Yankees defeated the Mariners in the Bronx. All of their runs coming via the home run from Jake Bowers, Billy McKinney, and Anthony Volpe. So, I don't know, man. For me, that was just to see those back-to-back. Johnny Brito threw 5.2 innings in that game. It was just a little reminder that baseball, at the end of the day, does come down to the Jimmy and the Joes. There's no manager that can out-manage the other team enough. And I guess the positive spin zone is this team has some pretty good Jimmys and Joes on it.
Ugh. Was that the game when Claire was born?
Was Claire? If today is Claire's actual B-day, then there's a good chance.
No. So did Billy McKinney homer in like?
Or actually, was it a day ago? Was it yesterday?
No, but her birthday's in 2 days.
Okay.
But Billy McKinney homered like an hour before birth. We were like, should we name her Billy?
Right.
And we were like, oh, we kind of like that as a cute, like a weird girl's
Right.
nickname or something like that.
Billie Eilish.
But we ended up not doing that.
Right.
6/24, he homered. And, wow, he homered June 20th, June 21st, and June 24th.
He had a nice stretch. We were buying into some Billy McKinney for a second there, and that's a problem.
Are you a real boy?
I have a fun potentially final thing of the show.
Fun, potentially final thing of the show brought to you by BBD.
This is from Gary Phillips. Jazz said that Jason Dominguez tied his cleats after they came off and that he's the best at tying shoes on the Yankees. Didn't explain other than to say it took him 5 minutes to get his cleats off after the game.
Dominguez, just little kid nodding his shit up.
Because Jazz said the
You
reason
know
his
what?
cleats came off was because I was so sweaty. My socks were wet. Everything just slipped straight out. I've never had that happen in that way. Not both, at least.
Man, almost none of that
It's just a prank interview.
can just pass through without getting screened and looked into if you needed to.
My socks were wet. I've been known to sweat a lot, and I've never sweat so much. My socks have been slippery wet.
Yeah, dude, but they wear like Judge's sock company. Remember,
It's true.
like they kind of wear those dress sock. They're close. Sometimes they're closer to dress socks than like baseball socks. Like,
Right.
and dress socks are slippery.
They can get slippery. I won't deny that.
I wonder if Jason Dominguez double loops the first knot. I do that because tying hockey skates, I wanted the knot to be wider.
Yeah, I mean, and because I want to keep this positive because they won a series. Let's start winning series again. that I'm just going to tie that in. I'm just going to tie that into El Marciano. Like, you know, the nickname The Martian. You got to see the way this guy ties shoes. It's probably something we don't even process.
It took him. How long did it take him to get out of the shoes? I mean, that sounds like it's not that good of a job. Like a good shoe tire should secure you, but also an easy exit is kind of needed. Like I can tie my shoe so good if the option is make it hard to get out.
Not for athletics. I think athletics you want it as secure as possible. So I think that's where Chisholm is special.
Well, Yankee social media, show us a video of him tying shoes. Let's see this. Let's see what he's doing. He's not doing bunny ears. I'll tell you that much.
No.
And if you're listening to this as a grown adult making 2 bunny ears,
Come on.
you know,
Come on.
wake up. People are laughing at you.
Come on.
Probably
you're doing that in public.
From cars.
On the street corner as grown adult, people are laughing at you.
I'm doing that.
Just saying.
Never got the swoop.
Tying 2 bunny ears together.
The physics never made sense to me.
You don't tie your shoes that much.
No, I just started slipping them on.
Yeah, me neither.
It's a sign of giving up.
Ha! All right. That's the show. We thank you for tuning in.
Did Ben Rice deserve more love?
What's that?
Did Ben Rice deserve more love?
Yeah, but you decided not to give it to him. That's something you all have to wear.
Damn.
I thought you were going to give him an award.
I thought you were going to give him an award.
I told you I was giving my awards to.
Damn.
Wait.
Damn.
Wait. Ben Rice is 1 for 2 after they intentionally walked Judge, so he got talked about.
We did talk about him. I have a compliment for us.
Okay.
We didn't talk about Volpe. Thanks, everyone. Tune in next
All right,
episode.
see you guys later. Go Yanks. Tell him Grams.
Go Yankees.
Boone's back, and we're going to grill him next time.
We should start doing next time on Talkin' Yanks. And then just do fake sound bites. Next time on Talkin' Yanks.
I heard Dominguez stopped tying Judge's